Students are getting worse. Search the interwebs and you'll find no shortage of videos with students attacking teachers for taking their cell phones or holding delinquents accountable. Generally, if it is news coverage of the student attack, there's bound to be parental outrage over the teacher's response to how they handle the student's violent outbursts. Let's take a look. Just see for yourself.
6-year-old Janice Davis Watkins still in shock after a brutal assault. Bruises, cuts, and a broken tooth. It started at Pittsburgh King Pre-K through 8 on the north side. The district has a no cell phone policy. Janice took a phone from a 4th grade girl. Janice said the girl bit her. Sources say the student's parents came to school with the mother telling the teacher she was going to get even. Those sources say the parents followed Janice as she went to get the bite checked out at a local clinic. Attack happened right in the middle of traffic at the busy intersection of Route 65 and the West End Bridge. The assailants took off. Janice herself, dazed and bleeding, called 911.
In this particular video, a young 4th grader bites her teacher after taking her cell phone when it's against school policy for students to have phones in the first place. And the result? The 4th grader's mother vows revenge on the teacher, later executing a violent assault and beating her down with an inch of her life left. This sadistic behavior of this parent is nothing short of gang behavior, where retaliation for offenses is a must. A whole life-threatening event over what? A cell phone. One YouTube commenter articulated the incident where no more words need to actually be wasted. Let's see what they had to say. She was just reinforcing school policy. Many parents of these students don't teach them how to obey rules. A lot of these students are going to prison because of their entitlement attitudes. This starts at home. The parents are trash and are teaching their daughter to be trash also. Yet, it's always the teacher should know better, or they're professionals and should be fired for holding my son and daughter accountable. You've heard me say this multiple times, especially in my 7 Things That Frustrate Teachers video that I posted a while back. Young and old parents are more outraged by the teacher's reaction to student aggression and violence than the actual student's aggression and violence itself. This, my friends, is a reverse Uno card where pupil hostility is overlooked to condemn the teacher directly. The overall social mentality towards educators today is so corrosive that it's mind-boggling that teachers are willing to still teach at all. Man, look, I believe every classroom should have a crucifix. When sympathetic adults accept the mantle to prepare tomorrow's youth, they will be crucified for the unruly learners' actions today. I have something funny for y'all. I believe most parents are plagued with what I call, I'm coining myself, the my baby syndrome. You know, my baby wouldn't do something like that. I raised them better. Are you telling me my baby did what? That's my baby. They wouldn't even dream of behaving that way. Ma'am, your baby is 18 and a junior in high school. They have been suspended 20 times in 1 semester for fighting and now are threatening to punch the English teacher over what? The nerve. Man, with parents supporting their baby's dysfunction to this degree, it leads students to feel invincible and validated in their committed actions. When commenting on the ever-eroding culture, my grandmother and other respectable elders will always say this: "Now baby, you got these babies raising babies out here." Without explanation, I instinctively knew what they meant. The product of this statement is all around us. Now, here's the thing. This whole children raising children is a twofold concept. Let me explain it to you. First, young women are getting pregnant by guys who emotionally excite them. No proper vetting, no thoughts of the future. They indulge in primitive impulses while still maintaining a selfish mentality, striving for their happiness rather than primary concern for their children. Secondly, both parents are not in the home. Big brother or sister is raising their younger siblings with minimal resources who are still emotionally developing themselves. And then when that sibling responsibility has recklessly been placed on underdeveloped youth, school becomes an outlet for outbursts as their parents pass on parenting duties to 8th graders. It's ridiculous. These parents have not developed the feelings fortitude and social ability to adequately express themselves in what they believe is a crisis for their child. Now, this is how we end up with violent reactions as seen in an earlier video. We have constant emotional outbursts with no rational thought or logic inserted into the conversation. It's always feels before reals, no matter how wrong the parental party may actually be. As long as these people's feelings are just justified, that's what matters the most, nothing else. These parents and their students are dangerous for education because when the student is in the wrong, a level of hostility will rear its ugly head, causing the admin to cower to the emotional whims of these people. And guess who suffers this? Guess who suffers? You just take a guess. Teachers, that's who suffers. This is one of those exposed pieces where I don't have concrete solutions for external issues like poor parenting. Now, you can't tell knuckleheads to just stop having babies. People are going to people, if you catch my drift. However, I can raise awareness among first-year educators and struggling teachers about the possible situations they will be stepping into. Foster parent relationships, even with young and the rebellious. If you begin to invest in relationships with these same parents, eventually you can win them over to your side so they speak on your behalf in high regard. When their baby feels froggy to put hands on you, the parents will change their tune to Mr. Johnson would never, rather than my baby would never. Second, making positive phone calls, getting active in the community events at the school, or doing home visits are 3 ways to make those connections. Get involved at a community center in the neighborhood or the school. I know it's taken out of your day as an interruption, but these are investments that's going to be necessary to be made if you're trying to make the connection with the parent that supersedes that of the child. Using myself as an example, I belong to a church in the same neighborhood near my school. Now, this has helped significantly because my church does community events around the area. And when I'm at these events, an opportunity to extend an olive branch to parents opens up, which also allows me to cultivate deeper relationships with these students. And that cultivated relationship will easily bleed into my classroom. And that gives me more respect and status from these middle schoolers, which eases my classroom behavior over time. Alas, even all this community work and parental investment is not a guaranteed fail-safe to secure class success. I advise to keep a digital paper trail of behavior and inappropriate actions for your protection. Now, this isn't just another thing for you to do, but it is a serious CYA, as the old folks would say. Now, you have to change your mindset about documentation despite feeling overwhelmed. This really is to cover yourself. Build strong bonds with other students so kids will rally behind you if one steps out of line. These same students will also help enforce your class rules and expectations. Now, I cannot tell you how often students have come to my defense when disrespect arises. Girl, just give him your phone. Mr. Johnson's good. He'll take care of you. He'll give it back to you later. A good defense is a great offense. While I don't have answers for the parent problem, I can at least give the game to help you survive in these teacher streets. But maybe you're in a position where you're just tired of just trying to survive. Maybe you want to get like Snagglepuss and exit stage right. If that is the case, you need to know how to take the teacher skills that you built up over the years or in the 1 year that you taught and make a smooth transition. And I'll show you how to do that right here in this video.